Yeah.
You've been talking about coming into this fight being the underdog, but you've been familiar with big fights over the course of your professional career. So,
Yeah.
like, how does having that familiarity and that experience kind of like factor into this particular fight, as you might not have to worry about all the media coverage, press coverage, and stuff like that
Yeah.
leading up to this particular fight?
I've been quite lucky where from my first fight as a professional, I was on, like, I was the main attraction on television. I had all the media, the big press conferences, I had the conference calls and everything. So I had a lot of media attention from day one since I turned professional. And, I've been going 14 years strong as a professional, and still I've had big media coverage, and I've had that kind of pressure on me. But I've learned how to cope with that pressure, and how to deal with that pressure. And really now, when it goes into a fight, and when I go to a fight, I always make sure that it's not on my mind, and I'm nice and cool and chilled out. It's the last thing I think about with all this pressure. And also, one more thing I want to say, this is to everybody, is that Crawford. There's a lot of talk about Crawford fighting Spence. Spence just come off a fight, and I mean, all the people that are talking about that fight, he's got his hands full against me, because I'm not just a number. I know when I have to turn it on, I have to turn it on. And I mean, in maybe previous fights, I've won the fights, but I've not maybe looked the best. I mean, but because I know that I really belong a level above. I mean, I'm one of those fighters that if I'm fighting a guy who's supposed to be at the top of his game, then that's going to bring me to the top of my game. So it brings the best out of me. I mean, if Crawford's talking about Spence, maybe that fight happening and overlooking me, I think he is going to be having a big shock. So I hope he's going to be ready in this fight. I mean, we've both been hurt in fights, but he's been hurt by guys like Gamboa. I mean, I'm a fully fledged welterweight fighter who hits hard in this welterweight division, and I've got good knockout percentage. I'm an unbeaten welterweight fighter. It's a weight where I feel comfortable at, and it's a weight where I feel stronger as well, and I've got my speed, I've got my movement, and I've got the perfect size. Whereas the other weights maybe might have been a little bit too much for me, going up to when I fought against Canelo. That's maybe putting on too much. But even that fight, I mean, I really think I was winning that fight. When it comes to boxing skills and being smart and knowing that I couldn't make any mistakes. But obviously, I got caught with a big shot, which probably would have knocked out any welterweight fighter, in that fight. But this is where I want to maybe tell everybody that, look, I'm not just a number. I'm not just going to come into this fight and make numbers or make a night of boxing. I'm coming to win this fight.
Okay, I got a couple more for you. You mentioned about Crawford not overlooking you as an opponent, and not saying that you might be overlooking Crawford for your opponent, but we all have to look forward. After beating Crawford on the 20th of April, would you see yourself fighting Spence, or would you be wanting another fight before you got to Spence?
Honestly, I've never ever looked past fights. I made that mistake when I was young, and obviously things didn't go right. But to be honest with you, I'm just going to take every fight step at a time. There's a lot of big fights out there for me. There are Spences, there are Cal Brook. There's big fights out there for me. Now, it just depends how long I want to be in the game for. I've always said I want to retire young, and I want to enjoy time with my family. So let's see. I mean, if those fights can happen, but like I said, I'm just going to, after the fight, hopefully the press conference, that's when we can talk about this.